Big Bink Show, what's going down? Another Wednesday, Big Bink's Break Room Podcast. Hey, I want to start the show off today. I just experienced something, and during COVID, it's COVID season, late March to what is this? August. Oh my God, March, April, May, June, July, August. Month number 5 with COVID, and it's one thing. Listen to what I'm saying. It's one thing to see the statistics, to hear people talk about it, to know people affected by it. And there's another thing to be in it, like being an essential worker, which I am, being in the media, but blessed to have an opportunity to do a national morning show from home. You know what I'm saying? But today, I just wanted to share. Today, I started another job, a side job. All my DJ money, all my event money, that's kind of dried up with COVID season. So I was like, well, I could just make some chump change over here where I live at here in Dallas, outside of Dallas. So, like when you go into the store to go to the grocery store, you got to put your mask on. Imagine, and you'll see what point I'm getting at. Imagine wearing, and essential workers, you know what I'm talking about. But imagine wearing that mask over your face. I just did 5 hours today. I just did 5. And that was the longest, most hard to breathe 5 hours that I have ever experienced with this mask on. So my point is, big shots out. I can't give enough love. I can't even put into the words how thankful I am, America is, the world is, to essential workers that have to wear those masks, especially those doctors and nurses and therapists and surgeons and everybody who has to wear a mask all day. It is not a pleasant feeling. Even with the stuff around your ears getting irritated because you got to put them over your ears, man. And people think, and I was one of them, that wearing a mask ain't that bad. But I tell you, working today on the floor with that mask on, I'm not saying I couldn't breathe, but it was very, very, very uncomfortable. So my point is, even though we got to wear them, we need to wear them. But when you out, put the mask on. When you at the crib, you at the crib. But, when you go out, we up to 150,000 people died, up to 5 million. We closing in on 5 million people. We'll probably have that by this weekend. But we can get through this. But I hadn't had a chance to wear a mask all day like I did today. And it was the pits. It was the pits. I ain't saying don't wear it, but I'm just sharing. I'm just sharing about my experience. I'm going to have mine on regardless. But like I said, today I was like, man, I see what these doctors and nurses, what they going through, and they going an extra mile to keep people safe. So it's all love, salute to all the essential workers, everybody who has to wear those masks, all those doctors and lawyers, all those law enforcement, all those people in the hospital. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this kind of ties into, one of the topics of the show today, back to school, because these kids, teachers, principals, staff, they're going to have to wear this mask every day, all day. And the world is talking about this. Bringing up my girl, Shani, super duper extra executive producer. What's happening? Did I get it on? Hey, I see you on TV. I see you. And I see you. And now it's me.
My bad. I did the wrong thing. I was in the middle of switching everything over. You were like, come up, Shawnee.
What's going down?
Nothing. It's a Wednesday, but it's a Monday for me. And this whole back to school thing is something different. Cree is in the house too.
What's up? What's happening, Cree? Pretty Cree.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Oh, we good.
Good.
Now we
can't
we
complain.
just gonna jump off this conversation about sending kids or not sending kids back to school. Shani, like, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, you got two girls. Like, what are you gonna?
Oh, yeah. Well, my kids will be doing the whole online thing. So, right now, DISD has it to where they can go online or either go to the classroom. And we are definitely not doing the classroom because, like I've said before, kids are nasty. They just nasty, and that includes my kids. They let me have some of your chips. Ooh, can I see your pencil? You know, and they done had the pencil or the pen in their mouth, and let me borrow this, let me borrow that. And then, the other thing that concerns me about the classroom is the behavior, because this was a good time for parents to spend with their kids and try to work on some discipline issues that happen in the classroom. I mean, can you imagine? I work in the school districts, and the things that the kids did prior to this to harass their teachers. Now you're gonna have kids being disrespectful. I'm gonna cough on you and give you coronavirus. Ma'am, he said I got coronavirus. Ma'am, she took my mask. She touching me. Or they sneezing on you and stuff. It's just, I don't know. As a substitute teacher, I won't be an ASOP accepting no jobs. Okay, and for teachers that have to go, I will definitely pray for you guys, because that's scary.
Yeah. Cree, what you think? You got a teenager. Like, what are you gonna do for, like, what y'all been talking about? How you gonna handle that?
He's in Mesquite, and they're still DISD, so they have option virtual or go back to school. I don't want him to go because he has asthma, but his dad, he's a teacher, so we just have different opinions about it. But for now, virtual until, I guess they said, I think, what is it, after September 8th, they're supposed to go back to school.
Yeah, early September.
But I'm hoping they push it back, because have you guys been seeing about the cases in like Florida, Georgia, about those students?
Indiana too.
No, I haven't. I'm disconnected. So what happened?
Girl, they went to school early. I guess they called, some of the students are back to school already, and they already have COVID. Even employees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some of the students in Indiana. I seen pictures of classrooms in Georgia, which didn't look no different than a regular classroom 2 years ago. I don't think they're doing on the spot testing. You know how, like, for example, I went to the dentist about a month ago. As soon as I came through the door, a girl was like, "Shh. Oh, okay. How you doing?" Before I even told her what was wrong, she was just like, "Choo choo." I was like, "Wow, what's that?" She's like, "No, I'm just checking your temperature." So I don't think they're doing that in the schools. And I think it's a can of worms just ready to be open, and it will be a disaster. Now, with me saying that, let me be a hypocrite and paint the picture that I have in my head of why I'm sending my kids back to school. I'm not 100% in agreement. I'm really hoping that they push it back some more. Like Dallas Independent School District, the show is based out of Dallas. So all of our kids go to school in the Dallas metro area, Dallas, Texas, that is. And so my kids, they are heavily involved in sports, and they go to practice every day. Some of them, my daughter does competitive cheer. She's inside, but, they have a chance to distance and everything. My son plays football, Pee Wee League, and he's out, with his classmates. So they've been practicing on both sports probably about 2.5 months. And we've been fortunate, not to have any symptoms or any problems with COVID so far. So if they can do that, I think they can go to school. Now, although that's not the popular decision, and again, I'm not 100% like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. I need answers before that first day. And Sean, you kind of touched on it. Like, kids are nasty, you're right, but I need to know their plan, their protocol. How are the kids going to be spaced out? If they are, if they're not, nurse on site, what is going to be her obligations and expectations? It's a lot of stuff that has to be done. We're talking about August 17th for the part of town that I live in. That's a
couple weeks.
So we're one of the few cities in Dallas that in Dallas Fort Worth Metro that hasn't altered the start date. So we'll see what happens. And I'm kind of hoping that a lot of people don't send their kids back. This is the selfish side of me, so that when my kids go to school, they won't have to interact with a lot of people and they can have a space. That's just, those are my thoughts.
Well, this is what they're doing over in China when the kids go to school. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I mean, that look good, like, okay, they, trying to make sure that the kids come in and they're straight, but it's like when they get inside, what are they gonna do?
Well, I mean, if everybody has went through this protocol, they should be good on the inside, whatever they do. Seem like it.
But again, look, it's like, I feel that those blue masks that everybody's wearing, they say those are not, those are no good. So I feel like if they're going to let our kids go back to school, they can supply them with ventilation type of masks.
Yeah, the filter, whatever it's called.
N95.
N95.
I have another way where you can get one, right? It's a company called Cambridge, Cambridge British Technologies, and they have a mask that actually fits around the ears, and it has adjustable straps where you can pull them to make sure it's secure, and it has a filter ventilation on the side where you can actually change out the filters, and they're like $35.
Yeah,
that's it. $35.
Yeah. Well, with shipping and everything, so I think it's like $40, but that's number one step. It's like providing the proper mask. Like you see how they do just like recycling the disposable. Like, I'm like, I don't want to recycle disposable like masks. Like that should just be thrown away. We shouldn't even wear them if they're telling us that they're not going to protect us from the virus, right? So why not make sure we have the right proper mask for our children if we decide if they're going to go inside of a classroom?
Can we talk about how dope that little it's not an obstacle course, that little the little thing that we just watched, the little boy.
The temperature?
The whole thing was fun. I was like, ooh, what's coming next? But that right there.
Bink want to go back to school.
Yeah, that right there put me at ease. Like if they did that here in America, I'm sure a lot of parents would feel, a tad bit different. About sending their kids back to school. Shout out my big sis Marie Kelly. Checking in from
girlfriend's house.
Checking in from Dallas Fort Worth, a radio legend in Dallas Fort Worth. Yes. She says and she's in the medical field.
Yes.
She's in the medical field. She says the N95 is worn only if you have a virus to protect those that do not. Ooh, so that's for only people who got it, right? If I understand it right.
Yeah.
Like you don't know if you have it or not if you don't have the symptoms. So it's like, again, you would still want to wear the ones with a filter just to be calm.
I just think my kids, they gonna stay at the house, and I know some parents aren't comfortable with it. But I started with the girls so early, teaching them, and then my mom is a teacher, so I'm not, really worried about them missing anything. They actually get more when they stay, home, and they get to homeschool with my mom because she has everything they need, the start testing material. Like they've already started that. August 1st, they started school here. So they're already in it, but I'll let them go online with their other little friends. But we're not gonna go. We're not gonna do the whole in-person thing, not just yet. But to what you said about sports, they do play sports, so they go work out with their basketball team, but they're outside, they're spread out. Carly I just signed her with a trainer because she wants to keep doing track. She wants to go to USC on a full scholarship and run track. So I said, well, we got to find your trainer. Today she's working out with her trainer. And I'm okay with that, with them outside, but in the classroom, being in there with the kids and seeing what they did prior to COVID-19, it's like, nah. If you knew what these kids were doing in school, and then it's a post that I put up. The bathrooms at the school ain't never clean. They weren't clean before COVID-19. So what you really think about that?
You ain't lying. They said they weren't clean. They weren't clean when I went to school. Absolutely, they were horrible.
Yeah. So it's like
corporate too. They're just schools. They nasty up there too.
Yeah.
Nobody could never boo boo in them toilets. It was first it was embarrassing, but it was more nasty than it was embarrassing.
I feel like the men's bathroom was cleaner. Men's bathroom were always cleaner than the women's bathroom. I guarantee you that. I know. Disgusting.
Well, here's another thing that we got to think about. There are a couple of things. I was looking at the news here in Dallas, Fort Worth yesterday, and some of the schools in Fort Worth, Texas, were supplying the kids with Chromebooks, the little small computers that the kids now have. They were giving those away. I think they gave away like 125 yesterday because they're doing the virtual online stuff for now. And I thought that was really cool. But what about the parents, who don't have daycare, who depend on the school system for their kids to be taken care of while they go to work, and eating? Like some kids and I mean, some kids depend on school to eat. And this is something that is going to hit a lot of families. It's going to really hurt a lot of families if they don't decide to send their kids back to school. And that's something to think about, Shani.
Yeah, but I mean, as a parent, you're the parent. It ain't the school's job to feed your child. And
that's true too.
Honestly,
I think that's easy for y'all to say.
Listen, I'm a single mom.
I done been there. I had always said
support. I had to go apply for food stamps so I could feed them. I come up with ways and work all these crazy jobs, working at McDonald's, driving Uber. It's
churches.
So many. It's doing jobs that I don't want to do. And at the end of the day, I don't even think it's the school's job to teach my kids at the elementary level. Now, when they get to geometry and stuff, somebody got to help them. But as far as the basics, their ABCs, how to read, how to write, I think that's something that parents should do with their kids, and then that helps with the whole behavior thing. But as far as feeding them, I get that because I just got a call from the little thing call, and they say, okay, we're doing the school lunch,
free
lunch. Y'all can drive up and pick them up. We don't participate in that. Yeah, all summer the school provided the free lunches because they got breakfast, lunch, and a snack. So if you wanted to pick it up, you could. We didn't participate in it because I was blessed enough to be able to provide food for my kids.
Right.
But if I didn't, then I would have drove up there and got the food. But it's just it's an adjustment. It's me and my girlfriend talked about this, about parenting, because it's some things, I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with myself about some things with my kids. And there were things that I wasn't focusing on for them, and I was more focused on what I needed to do or what I wanted to do. I want to get this business off the ground. I want to do this. I didn't have kids till I was in my mid-30s. So I had all that time before to plan. Not saying that you should give up on your dreams, But my daughters are 10 and 11. This is a critical age. This is a critical time for them. So Shawnee had to stop thinking about everything that Shawnee wanted to accomplish. And I had to pull back and say, okay, what's going to be best for my kids? And I think that's hard when you're in a situation and you're trying to keep a roof over their head. You're trying to feed them. You know, they growing. They like, we talking about shoes. You know, I done start having to give my kids my shoes because I don't have the money to just go out and buy them new shoes. You know, I wear my tennis shoes that much, but that's where we're at. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna have to, you know, number one, my children are spoiled, and we got to cut that because that's gonna be a problem when they turn 14, and I'm gonna have to punch somebody in the face because
girl, mom, he'll be 14 August 17th.
You know, yeah, and them mouths, you know, and that ain't nobody's fault but mine, because I'm the mama. I'm doing it, so I got to take the blame for, you know, this. It ain't, oh well, because they daddy not here. No. You know, I just think that at this time, I understand that it's hard. I understand parents that you're used to depending on the daycare or the school to be a safe place, not a babysitter for your kids, but a safe place for them to go. And they are getting skills that they need for life. Yeah, that's what a parent is supposed to do. But at the same time, you want your kids to be alive too. So there are some people that are setting up tutoring or you know, homeschool in their home. I mean, if you're doing that or you know somebody, let us know and we'll put the information out there so parents have another option, because yeah, it's hard and it's stressful and you want to make the right decision as a parent. But and to any parent that's listening that, you know, your only option is to send your kids to school, don't sit up and listen to what I say and make you feel bad, because we got two different situations going on. Now, you do what you got to do and just pray over your kids and you're going to be okay. But, you know, there's some other options out there. And again, if you know somebody that is offering that in-home schooling for kids, for, you know, parents who have to go to work, please share that information with us so we can get it out there and people will know.
So that goes back to the question that you proposed on the screen. Is it too soon, in y'all opinion, for schools to be reopening?
I think so. I think they should just do it online.
Yes.
Just do it over Zoom.
Get it right. The kids, how do y'all expect the kids to get it right if we can't get it right?
I say throw the whole year away. I say no school, no sports, no nothing until we get the situation under control. Look, remember 3-4 months ago, China was like here. We was here. Now China is 0 and we still up here. We lead the world in deaths and cases of COVID-19. And half of the problem is there ain't no leadership coming from the top. That's half of the problem. It's so many messages out there. Wear the mask, don't wear the mask. You can get it, you can't get it.
Can't get it, yeah.
People die, but so many people don't survive. You know,
yeah, the goggles. Yeah.
Actually, goggles, that again, I'm not a doctor, but you know, I listen to a doctor every morning on the morning show, and you know, those goggles, if you get the ones that protect your eyes and is, you know, wear the mask, you know, it reduces the amount of, you know, of transmission, you know, because that stuff can go in your eye. It can go in your eye.
I feel like it can go in your ears too. If it can go in your eye, couldn't it get in your ear?
I don't see why I couldn't. ENT, ear, nose, and throat. It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Marie Kelly, she would know. Marie Kelly, can you get COVID through your ears? I even thought about, can you get COVID through bodily fluids like sperm? Like if you ejaculate in somebody, is that a way for them to get COVID? I don't see why not.
Is that connected to your immune system? Your sperm?
I mean, it's coming out of the urethra, which is connected to the bladder, which is connected to the stomach, which is connected to the esophagus, which is connected, all up in the ear, nose, and throat area.
Boy, somebody got an A in biology.
Oh, Marie Kelly say no, not the ears. Really? Well, keep your ears clean anyway.
Yo, she said earwax protection. Don't clean your ears.
Oh, look at that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Marie, you need to click on. What's your email address? I need to send you the link.
Wow. I stay cleaning my ears with YouTube. I be
trying to keep my ear. Earwax is I read that it does protect the ears, keeps them lubricated from some stuff, but I know back in the day, I've had some horrible experience with earwax trying to go the extra. Okay, I'm sorry. We talking about something else. Sorry about that.
That sounds nasty.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, Marie, you want to jump on? If you put your email in the link. Oh, you know what? I can do this.
Serum in. What is that?
I don't know. Maybe she's saying semen.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet if you smack. I mean, I bet if you have sex with somebody, you can give them COVID that way.
Hit that link.
I bet that's what they were saying. Like in the beginning, like they were saying, like over here in Italy. Remember, it was like getting real bad before it got over here. They was trying to say that that was. I want to say that it was part of it.
Really?
Yeah, because thick saliva and all that. Yeah,
it's all bodily fluid. It's all bodily fluids. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I haven't been giving my chicken to anybody. So.
The chicken just stayed in the box.
Yes, I did.
The chicken on ice.
Oh, God.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with this, Shawty. Keep it on ice, girl. Keep it on ice to somebody worth it.
Oh my God. Oh. Wow, but it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, we saw cases in Indiana. I saw pictures of classrooms in Georgia. Matter of fact, it was somewhere in the Dallas, maybe it was Florida or somewhere. I saw they moved the kids to the lunchroom and they spread them out in the lunchroom. But again, everybody had masks on and the teacher had on a mask. And, at some point, we opened up the countries too soon. New York, I think they did the best job out of everybody because they kept stuff on lockdown for a while. And now their cases are going down. And me and Shani was talking about this earlier this week we be hating on China. Well, the administration, the administration be hating on China. But
because we don't be hating.
China had it so that even if you was walking in the street, China had those guns. Actually, you can chime in on this. They had them guns, those radars that'll take your temperature and you don't even know it.
Oh, wow.
And if your temperature was high in the hundreds or whatever, they will escort you to the crib and make sure you don't leave. That's how serious China was. People wasn't even going outside at night. Now, here in America, people done kind of forgot. I ain't gonna say, I'm gonna say forgot. People are acting like COVID has kind of worn off. Everybody kind of going back to their everyday life. Action, chime in.
No, I mean, I don't think everybody's going back to their everyday life. I think it's
not everybody, but a great deal of
it's the conservative party. It's the conservative side. Because if you check the polls, almost the majority of Democrats believe in wearing a mask, social distancing, and everything else. And it's the messaging that they're getting from the president that's telling them that the virus is going to go away. It's going to magically disappear. And he doesn't wear a mask. It's the leadership that's causing most people to just be relaxed. Now, if he put a sense of urgency, if he put a sense of urgency behind it like it is, and it should be, then the country would have a sense of urgency. Remember, he's our representative. He's supposed to represent us. So how he acts is how it dictates how we act. His attitude is the cause of the attitude in the country right now, because you can't say that, because if he would have had a better attitude or more positive attitude, it would be a whole different thing. Now, and I won't say too much about the school thing because I've been listening to you guys, but I would just chime in on the school thing on this. Name me one college in America. Name me one school system in America that has more money, more resources than the federal government. If you can't name me one college or one school system that has more money than the federal government, then my kids are not going back to school because the federal government has money and resources and they can't protect us. So how is the school system supposed to protect my children?
Yeah.
They are not going to be guinea pigs or petri dishes so you could try to use herd immunity to try to get us past this pandemic because it's no national response to it. The national response to this pandemic is pathetic. And we all should be, as a people, outraged because all of us are in danger. People are dying. Get that. People are dying. People are sick. People need help. It shouldn't be a Democrat thing, a Republican thing. It should be a people thing. People are dying. We all should be mad right now because all of our lives are in jeopardy. You can't even go outside the house. Come on, man. You walking around with a mask on right now. No remembrance in my lifetime of ever going through something like this. Everybody in America should be mad right now and saying, what the is going on? It's sad. And I'm angry right now. And if you're not angry, it's a problem. All of our lives are in jeopardy, not just the people that are dying. There are millions of people infected right now. And maybe you don't care. Maybe you're like, okay, maybe you're one of them skeptics that are like, oh, it's a cold. It's just like a flu. I beg to differ. People are dying. That's real. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you want to think it could happen to you or not, people are dying. And again, everybody should be outraged right now at the response from our federal government, which is their only primary job is to protect its citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that was my thing with the school thing. It's like the school board, they keep having meetings on Zoom. They ain't meeting in person. So if y'all ain't meeting in person, why should the kids come to school? If y'all
No. You can't guarantee me the protection of my children. And the children are the future. If you can't protect the future and that's not a concern for you, why should I send my kids to that type of environment? My kids mean the world to me. And every parent I know that is listening to this or will ever see this will probably testify that you would die for your kids.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So again, if you love your kids that much that you would die for them, why would you sacrifice their life on a chance? And even if you don't, again, what the president is saying that kids don't they can't get infected, they can get past this, that might be possibly true. But again, that in turn makes them spreaders. They're gonna be spreading it in the house that you live in. They're gonna be spreading it to your friends and people that you meet. And again, why would you subject your child to that type of trauma? How would your child feel if they know they gave you COVID and you died?
Horrible.
Knowing that they were the cause because they were asymptomatic and didn't know that they had it and went back to school, and then they gave it to you or your grandmother or your wife, and then all of a sudden that person died from the disease. How is that going to affect the psyche of that child? See, they don't long-term think, and they don't think that out, and that's the problem, because we have a leader that's not following direction. There are experts probably in his ear, because I'm not an expert, that is probably telling him this, and he don't give a shit. He don't care.
He told us after the funeral, And I think they interviewed and asked him how he felt about him. He was like, I don't know who he is. He didn't come to my inauguration. I mean, he did the same thing other people
Yeah,
did.
if you haven't watched that interview with Jonathan Swan from Axios on HBO, I got it posted on my timeline. This man is so self-absorbed. And at the time when you need to have a president to have empathy of what's going on in America, people are getting kicked out of their houses right now. As we speak right now, people are getting evicted.
Mhm.
They are fighting over $600, but they gave the wealthiest people in America $1 trillion tax break. Understand that psyche, people.
Business owners, small business.
Yeah, they're quibbling over giving you, the average person, $600, thinking that's too much money. But they'll give a corporation $1 million tax break.
And
like
some
that
of them
ain't
couldn't even get it. Because when I went on to try to apply for unemployment, I could never get through. I finally got through last week. And you know how much they said they gonna send me? $89 a week. And I can't start that till next week.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, $89. Would that
You said
even take
89?
89.
Exactly.
215. That's what they told me.
I can promise you that anybody up there making those decisions, if they had to live on my salary, would shoot them fucking selves.
Yeah, it's like,
do you hear me?
We be over here.
They would die. They would be a Jeffrey Epstein found dead someplace. They would commit suicide. They would kill themselves. If they had to all of a sudden flip to my paycheck, they would be no.
Now I'd be happy to flip to your paycheck.
No.
Think about small business owners. You remember I was working, they laid me off, and then they closed everything down. So I couldn't even work. Because that's what I do. I work in a salon. So what about for us? And then when I finally applied for a loan, right, they denied me. I know people that don't have a business got the $10,000, but they denied me.
Yeah, I applied for that too, but I found the right lady to help me, and it was so amazing because she was like, pull your taxes out. Not because that was the first thing that she probably said, yes, I did. I didn't even know how to find the stuff she was talking about, but she just said, just go to this line, go to that line, go to that line. And when I did that for the business, it was a decent amount that I could be approved for, because even though based on those numbers, I could get that amount, you still got to go through a underwriter.
Right.
Yeah, to get the money. So we waiting and praying. So y'all pray.
Well, that's how I was.
She got me on the other one too, because it's two of them. So there's the Paycheck Protection and the other one. The Paycheck Protection, maybe in the next couple of days I hear that, but that really wasn't much. But I mean, hey, I'll take it. It's more than $89 a week.
I probably Lowe's.
Yes, but see,
but Lowe's had a grant for women, for minority women. They had
I did that.
I applied for that one. Yeah, it's a grant, and they give it for minority women who are, business is in the
and it's something else. Minority women, veterans, something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a ton of programs out there, but see, here's the problem with all the programs that they have out there, which they are abundant, and I would never discourage anybody from applying. But understand, we are at the cusp of a depression. There are millions of people out of work right now applying for those loans, trying to get money, trying to get help right now, and the government is doing nothing. Again, one of the things that's holding up this bill for the money right now is the fact that Trump doesn't want to give money to blue states. He wants, because one of the sticking points in the bill is the fact that Nancy Pelosi and all the other people that passed the CARES Act a long time ago, they want to get more money for states that need the help. You know, because a lot of these state budgets are going to get blown out the water because they didn't expect this pandemic, and they're taking on a lot of costs for the overtime for the frontline workers that we have, for the police officers, the fire departments, and the ambulance services, and all this other stuff that's going on right now. The cities are paying for that. The government isn't paying for that. I mean, the federal government, and the cities are saying, listen, if you don't help us out, we are going to have budget shortfalls. We're going to have to start firing people, frontline workers. The first people, they're going to have to start furloughing, like people like police officers, fire departments, and stuff like that. Government workers, they're going to have to start getting furloughed. Local government workers, because city budgets aren't going to be able to fund them. But Trump is saying, I don't want to help out the blue states. I just want to help out the red states. And all this time, I thought he was the president of the United States. Right. But he's saying he don't want to help the blue states out. But see, this is the thing, and this is the irony in this situation. And we talked about this. The irony in this situation, and I'll let you chime in on this, Bink, to tell me what you think. Right now, everybody is on Black Lives Matter for saying defund the police. But in effect, with the Republicans not passing this bill, and they're going to have shortcomings in their budgets, in their state budgets, who is actually really defunding the police right now? It's the Republicans, because if the states don't have money to pay the police, in effect, the Republicans are defunding the police.
Right.
It was just a metaphor for us. It was just like we need to change. Yeah. We need to change some programs. But in all actuality, defunding the police is not giving them money, not giving them the means and the resources for what they need. And again, if the Republicans hold up this bill like they are doing, they're the ones in effect that are actually defunding the police department. And Trump said he'd never do that. But again, you see you know how he thinks. But what do you think? So,
no, you hit it right on the head, man. Like, the Republicans have been holding up all kind of progress bills. I mean, everything to keep America moving forward, man. Like right now, it's like a game. You know, you see this man, I'm talking about, 45, get in that interview. And this dude said, well, as far as cases, we are doing better than the world, or we are. I was like, what? He compared all of our cases to the world. And then he said, yeah, Florida cases are down. Florida cases is down. And Jonathan Swan was like, Florida?
Now his looks are priceless. Like, he's looking at him like, whoa.
He was like, last I heard, we were leveling out. Last I heard. I'm like, but this dude, he's saying it. Here's the killer action. He's doing it with a straight face, and his followers will continue to push his agenda like it's true. First thing people say, why you like president? Oh, he's doing everything for Black Americans. He's done the most for African Americans ever. And I'll be damned, in that interview, he said those exact words in that interview.
Yeah, but see, people parrot what he says, and you're going to do that. You're going to have his loyal followers. Well, they're going to be people that are going to believe every word that comes out of his mouth. Yep. And that's just how it is. I mean, I had conversation with him all the time. And again, you can be loyal to a man, you can be loyal to him, to whatever, but now it's not about loyalty to him, it's about loyalty to the country. We're all in this right now. This pandemic is not just affecting Democrats. It's not searching out parties. It's not like the plague that Jesus sent. It's like it's like it's targeting everybody. So again, everybody's affected by this. So again, everybody should be invested in it. And you have to admit, I don't care what you say, the leadership is lacking. Everybody will tell you that. I don't care what side of the aisle you're talking about. You've had Republican governors say that the leadership is lacking. You've had Republican House people, senators. I mean, just everybody saying that the effort is lacking, and it's true. And America knows it right now. I mean, you can't. I mean, if we're gonna keep it real, let's keep it real. America knows it right now. And if you live in a rosy life, or if you think this is okay, if he's doing a bang up job, man, where is your thinking at? I mean, wearing a mask, not being able to go out to a restaurant, not being able to socialize with your family and your friends, people dying.
Yeah,
that's a bang up job. Are you kidding me?
About in the interview when they asked him about, how did he feel about the deaths or whatever, and he was like, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's.
I turned TV after he said that.
I mean, that's heartless. That's just simply that's simply heartless right there.
Yeah.
We're not surprised.
How do you think Kanye would do since he's running for president? If he had to, lead, if he won and he was going in after this man.
Say what?
Trump.
No. First of all, America is not going to put another black man in the White House no time soon, and especially not Kanye West.
Nobody else will move.
He said he's going to make America great again.
You know what I think it is though, and this is something that a reporter asked about in the White House briefing today. He asked the president whether some of his supporters or some of his people was supporting Kanye West because they helped him get on some of the ballots in the last minute. It was some Trump supporters that helped Kanye West get on the ballot right now. So the reporter asked him, what are you signaling by your donors and supporters helping Kanye West to get on the ballot? And he's like, I didn't know anything about that. And yeah, come on, dude. As much as you micromanage, you don't know nothing. He always says that. Well, I don't know nothing about that. But he is the ultimate micromanager. He always tells you nothing happens without him knowing. He'll say that many times. Like, I'm running this. This is my show. And then when it's always convenient for him, he's like, I don't know nothing about that. Like, dude, come on. Who believes that? So, but anyway, it's like, I think he wants Kanye West in there just to throw off the ignorant black folk.
Well, remember, if Kanye starts to get votes, that cuts
into the Democratic vote.
Into the Democratic / black vote. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want. That's what
they want. Yeah, they want that.
If we already, undecisive about our votes and how they being proportionalized, and I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I'm saying? All our votes need to go for the best candidate. And I'd be damned if 45 the best candidate. If somebody else come in and try to get a little bit of it and start to get votes, it's going to cut down and Trump will be the winner again. So
no, I want a fair contest. That's all I want. I mean, I don't want nothing more than a fair contest. And he's not making it a fair contest because he's already sabotaging the vote by mail, talking about it's going to be rigged. But that's crazy. Imagine that. He's the executive. He runs the government. We're months away from the election, but he's saying the post office can't handle it. Aren't you the executive?
Yeah.
Is it the post office under you? Shouldn't you make that work then? Isn't that what executives do?
Yeah.
He's telling us it's a problem 3 months out, but won't fix the problem. What kind of leadership is that? Think about that.
And
He's saying, it's crazy. I mean,
like a straight up TV show, man. Like this shit is actually happening in real life. This is better than Scandal. This is better than Scandal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you imagine all the problems that he talks about, he only fixes the ones that he wants to. It's like that's what he does. He'll talk about a problem, but he only fixes it when he wants to. Like it was a problem in the Justice Department, so he got Bill Barr. So now he's fixing the problems in the Justice Department. But there's a problem with the post office, and they need to fix it. All of a sudden, the executive role is gone. He ain't fixing nothing no more. That's somebody else. Like with the states, COVID hit. Hey, governors, it's your problem. You need to fix it. And then when he replies to the national response, I'm doing a great job. Yeah, because you're not doing nothing. The governors are doing everything.
Oh, and by the way, don't forget when the governor's not doing what he want to do. Okay, well, I'm gonna send the National Guard out there, and they gonna take care of the problem. I'll do it. Since you don't want to do it, I'll do it. So
come on, man.
This dude crazy, man. But listen to this. Listen to this. Let's say Kanye do run. He gets on the ballot in New Jersey. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
I haven't, and maybe.
Stop showing that picture, man.
I know. He's like Uncle Tom.
I haven't heard.
Like what?
Yeah.
What?
I haven't heard anything about Kanye's agenda. Have you guys? Do y'all know what is he standing on?
I mean, he's going crazy. He divorcing Kim. He up in Montana in the mountain. He having a breakdown.
No, but what is he doing? What is his plan? If he becomes president, what is his plans? Like, what is his plans to do for reparations? African American. What is it?
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know. That's how you know the foolery is in play here.
That's my point. That's
that's how you know the foolery is in play. He has no national team. He has no foreign policy team. He has no deficit team to work on the deficit that we have growing up. He has he has put forward not one plan that would help out America right now get out of the situation we are in and are facing. I don't care who gets in office, whether it's Trump again for another 4 years, or I know, but it is what it is. But if it's Trump for another 4 years, or it's the new president Biden, either one is going to be facing a daunting task.
Yeah.
We have millions of people out of work. We have businesses. Moms and pop businesses that have been around for generations probably that are wiped out, that will never open again. The restaurant business is changed forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The entertainment business itself is changed forever. Come on, Bink, you said that yourself. You had to do a part-time gig because your club gigs dried up. You ain't the only DJ on the planet, my man. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's millions of DJs out here. It's millions of club owners. It's people. I mean, the world has changed as we know it until they find a vaccine. And we are not the leaders in that research right now. And we should be. We should be doing our thing. That's why Obama got us through H1N1 so quickly, because America took the leading role and we put our science first. You got a guy out here that is thinking he's smarter than the doctors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, man. Dude is in real estate. That's his claim to fame. Real estate. Even if you give him his claim to fame, real estate businessman, multimillionaire, tycoon, playboy, whatever you want to give him his title. None of those titles include physician, doctor.
Real talk.
None of those titles. And he's talking about he's smarter than the doctors. Dr. Fausti is saying wear a mask. He's saying, oh, you can do it if you want to. Come on, man.
And the Republican, the Senate, this was so disheartening to watch them try to grill Dr. Fauci in that hearing last week when he was talking about crowds and all that. They trying to make him stumble over his words to make his message seem like it ain't real.
No, what I wanted him to do was really put him in check. But see, Dr. Fauci has to be smart because he's still working for the man. Because when they was talking about those rallies and the protesters, I was like, I wanted him to come back. You mean like the president is doing?
Yeah.
Like the one the president had that killed Herman Cain? Is that the kind of rallies you're talking about?
Yeah.
But see, he couldn't go there because it's like he's still trying to work. But it's like
he don't want to die.
Yeah, definitely put that up, Shine. Put that up. We talking about that.
Yeah, so Black is King came out over the weekend. Did any of y'all get to check it out?
I didn't. I heard enough people talking about it though.
Me too. I seen
You know we did because me and Shine talked about it.
Yeah, so real quick, let's check out the
Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance.
The king is you. You are the king.
Break it down now.
Remember who you are.
That was dope.
It is. It is. It is so hot. I loved it. I loved it. Now when it started, I was like, "What the world is we watching?" Just like that. What the world is we watching? But my oldest daughter wanted to see it. You know, she's like, "Mommy, can we watch? Can we watch Black is King?" And so I was like, "Okay, let's sit down and watch it." And I mean, she was glued to the TV the entire time. I mean, she didn't move. She was stuck. By the time it got to the second song, that's when I was like, wow, this is amazing what Beyonce put together, because, you know, she gave the females lemonade. And to me, this is like the lemonade for the men. It's everything praising a Black man from his birth all the way to adulthood. And I love the costumes. I love the way Beyonce looks. We see a whole lot thicker. I love the dancing, the music, the fact that she used the African artists instead of all American artists. I mean, it's just the beat, everything. It's just,
it was dope.
It was just like, wow, I'm gonna watch that again.
Now she did it over there in Africa?
Yeah, she actually went to Africa, stayed, studied, and then put it all together.
You said like for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a year.
Yeah. So we watched it. We had a little different experience. But yeah, so me and my family sat up and watched it, right? And because we all wanted to watch it. I was like, yeah, I gotta watch this. You know, I do radio. It's something I gotta talk about because I want to talk about it. I want to see it. So we sat down and watched it, and it started. And honestly, from the first track to the last track, I can sit down and listen to that whole soundtrack all day, every day. I mean, it is that dope to me. The song with Jay-Z is dope. Just the African artists that performed in there, the rhymers, the African rhymers, they had little Jamaican twinge to it. I mean, it was just musically, for me, it was almost perfection. I mean, again, from the first track to the last track. Visually, I thought it was okay because it was almost like if you've seen like Hamilton, or if you've seen West Side Story, any kind of musical, it's like when they get into the musical, it almost looks like you're watching a video itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing a music video and you just tuned in to MTV or BET and you watching a music video. So, I mean, visually it was like that. But the story, I was having trouble. And my oldest daughter, who's 15, like 10 minutes in, she walked out. She was like, I'm gone. And my youngest daughter stayed up and watched the whole thing with me and my wife. But on some of the parts of it, it was just, for me, the story was like, okay, I was a little confused, like what's going on here? What's she trying to say, or what's happening in the story? And a lot of people like, if you know The Lion King, you know the story. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen The Lion King. I've seen all of them. I mean, again, I'm a parent, so I've watched. I mean, I'm Disney out. So yeah, you know, if you're a parent, you know, you're Disney out. Yeah. But it's like I for some reason it got lost with me. I guess because it was just. I was so captured by everything, and probably like you, Shani, I just have to watch it again. Because visually, I was just trying to take in everything because it was stunning. It really was
so much. The costume is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot.
and amazing, but it's the Lion King. It's the Lion King story. And she even uses excerpts from the Lion King, because when it started out, James Earl Jones is talking, and
Right.
Carly said, she said, that's the man from the Lion King. And it hadn't clicked with me yet until they got to it was probably the third song in. And then I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on with the little boy. And I get it. And then if you listen to the lyrics to the songs, they kind of tell a story. But one song did throw me off. That's the one where he goes in the place and the man is talking about jealousy and hating. And he's still a little boy and all the motorcycles are going around.
Yeah.
And that one kind of threw me. I was like, okay. But I guess that was like Scar. He was like,
that was Scar. That was Scar when the hyenas and all the other stuff was coming around him and they were trying to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, but that dude with that yellow snake, I don't know what that rapper name is from Africa, but baby, he is fine. We getting on the plane.
The girl, the joint with the girl rhyming, where they had the all girls rhyming, where they had the I think it was the female, they had it was the sister singing the hook, and then they had this female rhyme. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to watch that again. I'm gonna have to fast forward on that one again. That joint right there, Bink, you could be banging that right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could be banging that right now, dude. That joint, that girl spit on that for real.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are saying, like on Twitter, I went through there and they were saying, well, Black is King is Beyonce worshiping the devil, because she uses a lot of the headpieces and crowns that they used from back then. And I'm like, y'all don't know y'all culture. You know, you guys mean to tell me, and I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like, these are things that are happening before you got here, and then you learned Christianity and they told you that was devil worshiping. The crown with the horns, them was horns from a deer or something. So the horns on the animals are
charge my crystals. I charge my crystals. I'm into that metaphysics and all that too. So yeah, they was talking about all that. I did hear that, but I was just like, what?
People,
and again,
they just need to do their research.
I'm just curious though. These people that are saying they're like, she worshiping the devil, and you know, Jay-Z is in the Illuminati. I'm like thinking, you do realize you living in a world of sin, right? Yeah. and whether you are a part of that sin or not, you are still waking up in a world of sin, which makes you sinful, regardless of whether you. That's why we wake up every day and pray about that, because we are waking up in a world of sin, and it makes us sinful, regardless whether you want to be a part of it or not. So again, it should not make a difference. What difference is that going to affect your life? Beyonce, Jay-Z, I don't care who you are, will never keep me out of the kingdom, because they're not going to affect my relationship with Christ or my relationship with anybody. And if somebody can affect your relationship with Christ, then maybe you need to check your own relationship with Christ. That's what I say, because I can listen to Beyonce's music. I can check out the visuals. I can appreciate this woman for the God-given talent that she's got. If you believe in God, then you should believe God gave her that talent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is her kids in the video?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I heard.
Oh, she killed it. Blue Ivy killed it too. Blue Ivy's gonna be a star, dude. Blue Ivy is gonna be a star.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend, man.
The mama is in it. Tina's in it.
Is Dr. Knowles in it too?
No.
But she does. She does tribute to him. So she
she does do a tribute to it. I was looking for Solange though. I was wondering why Solange wasn't in it. Is she in there?
She's in. I saw her in one scene, but
I didn't see her.
They look so much alike.
They do. There
was one scene that I thought she was in.
I didn't see her at all. Me and my wife were looking for her after we saw the mother. We were like, okay, where's Solange? We knew Daddy wasn't gonna be in there, but we were like, where's Solange gonna be at?
Yeah, I thought that was like the scene, you know, when they're standing on that bridge and the mom Tina is there and Beyonce holding all the babies.
Mm-hmm.
I thought in that sequence, like in some dance sequence, Solange was in it. She's one of the
I don't know. Again, I'm gonna watch it again. Just like I watched Hamilton a couple of times. Have you seen that yet, Shawnee? You seen that one?
Well, after track practice, because when I get off here with y'all, I gotta run to the track to be with my baby, and then when we come back, we're gonna watch it. We already
You got to do that one too. Definitely got to do that one too.
Hey, did y'all hear about Tory Lanez? Like I know on Twitter, Black Twitter especially, they was trying to say he need to be deported back to Canada. You know, after his episode with Megan Thee Stallion, after him shooting Megan Thee Stallion. She did what?
I heard off the radio they were saying that on K104 they were saying that possibly she started the whole thing and then she pulled out a gun.
Here you go.
Here we go.
Here you go.
Hey,
it's her fault.
Go ahead, Shawnee.
Hey, Shawnee, take that to the upper room. Take that to the upper room. I'm gonna let her get it. I'm gonna let her get it.
Yeah, Queen, you fucked up now. Go ahead.
No. I'm not saying it was right. They were saying. That's what they were saying.
Nah, but it don't matter. I don't
there you
care
go, Shawnee.
what you said. I don't care what you did. Tory Lanez did not walk away, shot, stabbed, cut, scratched, nothing. The argument shouldn't even. I mean, it's bad. It happens because you know I got my past too, and I had to learn. It took me to get to a certain spot to understand. But at the end of the day, you don't shoot nobody. You don't
understand it. I'm not justifying y'all. I'm just telling you what they said. That's all I'm saying.
No. He needs to. I don't know that I would say that he needs to be deported.
You just want to set it up. That's all.
I don't know that he needs to be deported, but I would say that he definitely needs some counseling. No, I wouldn't support him because at this point, until he can show some better, behavior, because people can change. But my question is, this is what I wonder, because if he was, even if she did let's say she did pull a gun out on him. Okay, if she pulled a gun out on him, that ain't the first time they done had this kind of argument. That's not the first time. You pull a gun out because you're scared. And I don't care if Megan put out a song tomorrow talking about she the baddest bitch and she'll fight everybody on the block. No, Megan is very soft on the inside and you can see that. And she is hurting. And there are some things going on. So if you pull a gun out on somebody, you scared. You pull a gun out on somebody in an argument, y'all in a relationship, then you probably done popped them upside the head a couple of times. So that's the thing. It's kind of like when the whole thing happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna. People are like, oh, well, you still supported Chris Brown. Yeah, but at the same time, I also said there were some things that he needs to do. I think that he could rehab. With them, Chris Brown and Rihanna they was 18, 19. They was kids. They could, get some help. Grown people can get help too. But I don't think it should be that bad to where Tory has to be deported. But he shot somebody, he definitely needs to go to jail. Because if I shoot somebody, I'm going. If I just pull the gun out, I'm going to jail.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't get to say, oh, they were threatening me. I'm going to jail, and you just don't shoot nobody.
Yeah, he needs to make a public statement though. He needs to get. He needs to make a statement and say, "Hey, this is what happened." Blah. I mean, he ain't that big, but he big enough to do that.
He is, and I could respect that. He just said, "You know what, y'all? I did it. This is what happened. I was wrong." And mean it, and not just say it because, oh, this is what I got to do. But if he could say, okay, I did it, and not hide behind it, because that's my biggest issue with abusing people that won't just take accountability. I can deal with you a whole lot better if you just admit and say, you know what, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I had a moment of whatever. And then you start working on you, because we all have to work on us. I mean, I know I used to go off on people bad. I ain't never shot nobody and no gun on them and stuff. You know, I might.
Not that you got caught for.
Well, maybe he hasn't been filming because he can't say anything, anything when it's legal and all that. So maybe he's waiting for, the attorney on what to say. I mean,
I think he got
something.
I think he got to go to court in October. I think that's what they said. His trial or his hearing or whatever will be in October. By the time October come around, ain't nobody gonna be talking about this no more. So
yeah, and see, that's my thing. Where Black Lives Matter? He shot a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Outrage.
No, it's not.
Where's the outrage? Where's
no. You can't. Listen. You can't. You can't. I can't even get this out.
You can't.
No, but every time, yeah. Because every time something happens to a black person or something happens to in the black community, you can't expect Black Lives Matter to jump on every bandwagon, everything. Because that's not their agenda. Their agenda isn't to fight for every single situation in the black community. You got other agencies for that. You got the NAACP. Where's the NAACP?
But I'm saying because Black Lives Matter, they always get mad or people get upset when somebody says, well, every life matters. And every life does matter. Megan's life matters.
Yeah, it does. But what my point is
Black Lives Matter made all this money.
No, but again, you can't put that on everybody okay. So then, if somebody gets discriminated from college, where's Black Lives Matter?
Yeah,
okay, somebody gets beat up at the store. Where's Black Lives Matter? yeah, you can't. I mean, but you can't. They're not the Superman organization. Again, we got a lot of black organizations out here. We got a lot of black organizations out here, real talk, that could be held accountable for doing this. But this right here, this ain't no Black Lives Matter situation. This is a situation that a guy made a mistake. He did something wrong. He needs to own up to it. I don't think he needs to be deported, but he needs to admit that he did something wrong, go to counseling, and then do something for some women advocacy. Promote like why you shouldn't be doing something like this. Why I went down this road. This is not the road you want to go down. And this is how I changed myself. And this is how I think I can help you change if you got this problem. But this ain't a Black Lives Matter situation.
Because that's a black life that could have been gone. That was
you couldn't even get BET behind this.
and that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Megan doesn't need counseling either, because I think she does. Because that's if you to stay in something like that, it's some self-love missing. I've been there. So she needs counseling too. But
she does need counseling. And again, but we have to remember, like, as much as we like to put some of these people on pedestals, actors, singers, politicians, they people like us.
Yeah.
and they go through the same situations, except for theirs is magnified because they living on camera. Because this one guy asked me this and when I was having a Facebook fight with him over the president. They like, he like came at me like, you always are. When he said always, he meant Democrats. You guys always get mad at what the president says. Why do you get mad at everything he says and everything he does? And I had to kindly remind this guy, this is the 45th president of the United States. Everything he says and does is historical. Kids 30 years from now will be studying that. They will be teaching this in political schools. This is a part of our history. So what he says and does is living history. This is why we hold him accountable for what he says and does, because again, he is the way future. My grandkids will be studying what this guy did. So his words matter. We still studying Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. How long ago was that? Like, come on, people. Every tweet this man has put out since he has become president will be in archives, and people will be studying them long after we're gone.
Like, what was y'all thinking?
Man, it's I can't even go into words about the future of this country. All I know is, let's continue to be safe. Let's continue to make sure that we treat everybody like we want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And for you who watch the break room every week, we show appreciate it. We thank you. Spread the word, share the page, tell everyone about this podcast. And Creed, the I'm sorry, I always say it wrong. It's enthusiologist. I'm sorry. It's statistician. I'm sorry. And this is just me being ignorant.
Yosemite.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Esthetician.
Yosemite.
Tell everybody about your joint, about your business, how they can get in touch with you. I'm sorry.
Well, you guys make sure you follow Bellamore Beauty LLC. All your needs on all social media platforms. Bellamore Beauty LLC.
Tell them what you do, though.
I'm sorry. I'm an esthetician of 5 years or more. Actually, I've experienced esthetician over 5 years. I specialize in skincare, advanced treatment, lash extensions, and body waxing. And I also do semi-permanent tattooing for the eyebrows. So I have men, I have teens, tweens come to me, especially for skincare. I got a new website I just launched actually Saturday.
Body waxing, can you help me with this? Body waxing, can you help me? Can you help me with this? I need anybody that got the body. Can you help me out with that? I need
It's on my nerves. Oh my God. Yes, you can go.
That boy wrong.
You can see everything off. But no, not just I offer as well as I have a cosmetic line. So everything's on one website, y'all. So you don't have to go on 2 different pages. Everything's on one website. You can book services and you can buy products. And I have on one lip gloss. Yeah. Always ready.
Action.
That's my girl. Hey, you gotta follow her on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook and Instagram. Bell BEL Amour AMOUR Beauty LLC.
And follow my main man Action Jackson too. How they get in touch with you, bro?
Easy, man. Just follow Big Bink's Break Room. And if you following Big Bink's Break Room, that means you following Action. So that's real. I'm gonna make it real simple for you. All right. And before I leave, and always, let me tell you, blaze the votes. 2020. Get ready, people. Whether we gotta either mail in ballots or whether we gotta stand in line and risk our lives for the vote. If you feel like you gotta stand in line and risk your life for the vote, remember there are plenty of African Americans that had to do the same thing before you. So you ain't doing nothing no more than what your other ancestors had to do. They risked their life for the vote. You could do the same.
Shani, how they get in touch with you and tell them about the new conglomerate that you have put together and will unload on the world.
Oh, wow. Well, you can get at me. I'm going to be like Action. Get at me at Big Bink's Break Room. That's the easiest way. You can inbox me there, all of that. And then we are going to roll out the streaming platform and you can get on it. We are putting pricing packages together because we want to make it affordable so you can get your word out and build your brand and grow and be a millionaire in a year. That's what we're trying to do.
Woo!
Millionaire Creed. Come on, Shani. I'm
ready. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna share some light on Action's point about voting. I was looking at Reconstruction. What was it, 1865 to I forget the guy's name. It was on the PBS channel, and he was talking about how in 1867 there were a lot of hate crimes, KKK groups, white supremacists who prohibited black people from voting. We're talking about 1867 when people were killed, people were lynched, people were were counted out. People were neglected to vote. Ballots were thrown away. In 1867, this particular year, I forget what city it was. I think it was Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. 1867, the black people used to go in the woods late at night, 2, 3 in the morning, because they didn't want to come into contact with evil on their way to vote. They figured that the earlier they get into the polling place, the less trouble that they would have. These people went out and slept in the woods so they could be a part of the voting process in America. And because of that, we saw a lot of black people in Congress that I didn't even know about in the 1800s. Do the research. There were a lot of black people in Congress in the 1800s, 1867 to be exact. I did not know that. It was amazing to see that story. Reconstruction, 1865. My point is, them guys ain't have half, a fourth of what we have now to vote. We can vote from this computer right here. These guys had to walk many, many, many miles, and worry about what's going on at their house when they're not there, worry about their kids, worry about their family, worry about being killed, worry about being shot. And all we got to do is just get our ass up and go walk and go press a button or whatever. So to shed light on what Action said, blaze the vote, period. Blaze it.
Yeah, and your president don't know who John Lewis was, but I'm sure you do.
Absolutely.
so in the spirit of John Lewis, get out there and do your duty.
We appreciate y'all, man. Another successful week. Please be safe. And next week, same time, same place, Big Bench Break Room podcast. We love y'all, man. Spread the word, share the page. We trying to get 5,000 likes on this page tonight. So do you do justice. We love y'all.